Good morning, family. What's going on with you? I know it's been a long time, and I know what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, man, we hadn't seen you in I don't know when. 4 years to be exact, if I'm doing the math correctly. Uh, it's good to be back. Hold on one second. Let me make sure it is, man. Let me safety first. All right, we back in there. Okay. So it's good to be back, man. Good to be able to talk to you all. Um, I guess you're wondering, what's been going on with me. And so I plan to give an account of myself this morning. Um, really, what's been happening is life, man. Life. I got remarried. Uh, I have, of course, custody of my daughter. She's doing very well. Things are going pretty good. She is a junior now, and we're looking forward to senior year graduation. So we're preparing in life in that fashion. Um, but one of the major things that happened, man, I have to pause for a minute to make sure that I'm telling the right story in the right way. But before I start, what I want to encourage is everybody, especially my brothers, y'all make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that your health is good, man. Go into your checkups, go in and see doctors, appointments that you're supposed to have. Don't treat those things lightly, uh, because it'll come back to bite you if you do. So of course you know now that what I'm about to tell you involves health, and it involves keeping an eye on your health. So let's go back. 2023. 2023. At work, man, I've noticed that um, me walking around a lot of time now for the position that I have to walk around and talk to different people, make sure that my team is in good standing, that they have a good reputation. So it's okay. I enjoy that part of it. But I noticed that, and the team noticed too, that there were instances where I could only walk 5 minutes. I would walk 5 minutes, and then I'd be done. I couldn't go any further than that. And so as time went on, that got worse. Until eventually I was forced to go to the emergency room. Forced to go. I went to get a routine checkup from my primary care physician, and she made me go. My blood pressure was so high that she was afraid that I was threatening the stroke or a heart attack. So I went to the emergency room. I did. I went to go see what the situation might be, and of course they rushed me onto the back, and they, uh, took my vitals and everything. But from this situation, I found out that I had pulmonary hypertension. Pulmonary hypertension, and this was a different kind of pulmonary hypertension, uh, because evidently blood clots were involved, and I wouldn't know the extent of it until later on. But blood clots uh, were involved. Now, interesting thing about that, in 2016, I had uh, a bout with blood clots. 2016, because I used to drive for the state of Mississippi, and what I mean by that, I had a engineering position with the Mississippi Department of Rehab Services, and for the most part, I dealt with their computers. So we would refurbish computers, uh, but in this particular instance, it was new devices. And so what we would do is get those devices, order them, uh, get them in, put the assistive software on the JAWS, Zoom text, things of that sort, and then we would deliver the computer out to the individual's home. And that particular pursuit was all over the state that I live in, all over Mississippi. So from Blue Mountain all the way down to, let's say, Starkville, Hattiesburg, all those old places like that. You name them, I've been there because I've had to deliver to clients that live there. And so, because of driving so much, I developed in my left leg, I developed blood clots, uh, or a blood clot. Let me be more specific. And so I would put on Coumadin, blood thinner, so that my leg, the swelling in my leg, would go down, and it did. I was able to resume, the normal way that I would work, and I stayed on Coumadin for quite a while, and then all of a sudden that they took me off. So, uh, okay, I'm thinking, all right, I'm done with that. You know, the blood clot was dissolved, is what I was thinking. We okay. We can move on from that. And so, uh, fast forward to 2023, the same blood clot that I thought was dissolved had come up, and from what was explained to me, it came up enlarged in my left lung, enlarged into it. So much so that the doctor that I was seeing uh, in regards to my pulmonary hypertension, he said after various tests, after trying Eliquis, after trying other medications to break up the clots, he said that it was going to have to be operated on. So they were going to have to open me up and cut those blood clots out. As you can imagine, uh, that really, really was a shock to me. But uh, nevertheless, I'm hopeful, I'm positive, because the doctor that I was dealing with, he was always hopeful. He was always positive and reassuring, and he reassured me that he was going to get me some help. And so the next time that I spoke with him, he recommended that I go to see a doctor in Vanderbilt. He was a specialist in what I was going to be going through. Uh, and he was going to be an individual that respected my religious views of not taking blood. So we made contact with Vanderbilt, uh, as well as we saw the surgeon who was going to be involved. Very nice guy, very well spoken. His bedside manner was impeccable. Uh, Honestly, I probably have never met a more professional gentleman in my entire life, even though I profess to be the most professional gentleman you'll know. So you know he was on a different level, okay? He made us feel at home. We could ask him the questions that we wanted. And like I say, he respected the fact that I didn't want any blood involved in my surgery. So he put me on a list of medications that would promote blood production, iron, vitamin C, things of that sort. And so uh, while we were there, we also took a battery of tests. We took the tests that were necessary for him to figure out what was going on with me. Y'all pardon me because I'm getting on to the freeway. He took a battery of tests to find out exactly what was going on with me, and he verified just what the doctor in Mississippi had said, my home state. There was hypertension there that was caused by blood clots. And so um, he laid out his plan for the surgery. He laid out exactly how he wanted to do things, and we went home. Mind you, we had completed that battery of tests now. Remember that. So we went home, and I think it was a Tuesday, and we sat around Wednesday hoping to find out what the results were. And sure enough, we got a call to be back on Thursday. They wanted us back. And evidently, whatever he saw, it was so urgent that he wanted us to turn around and come right back. Come on back. And so we gathered everything, uh, and we made our way back to Vanderbilt. And so what happened at that point is, on my birthday in October in 2023, they went ahead with the surgery. And it was a funny thing to me. It was very odd. You know, I'm having this very, very serious surgery, but throughout the situation, I'm looking for, the good in it. And one of the things that was absolutely funny and comical to me was they had a guy who came in before the surgery, and his job was to shave me. And I mean, when I say shave, he shaved everything, which was kind of odd to me. I was like, man, you ain't gonna leave me no dignity, but no problem, no problem. So the surgery goes on, and of course, when I wake up, I'm I have a multitude of things strapped to me, um, and so the nurse that's there with me after they woke me up, he was a nice guy too. Throughout the whole process, man, the people who dealt with me, people who made sure I was okay, they were absolutely the nicest people that you'll meet. So hats off to Vanderbilt, hats off to their staff there, and it was just a wonderful experience. But now comes the difficult part. Now comes the part where you have to heal, and that process, like I said, we did the surgery in October, and in December they released me. So from the time I had the surgery until the first part of December, we we were there getting well. We were there recuperating. Um, but sad to say, we ran into a whole nother set of difficulties, and that's why I say, man, please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. After the surgery, probably about a couple of weeks, they tell you they want you to sit in the chair. Don't lay down. Don't lay down, especially when you're resting for the night. Sit in the chair. So I did that one night. I sat in the chair, and the next morning, the nurses come in. They want to make sure you're okay and check to make sure you're comfortable, and anything that needs to be changed or replaced, they'll do that. So my particular nurse, she comes in and she looks at my chest for some reason. She's studying. I won't say for some reason. I know why she was looking. She was trying to see what progress I had made as far as the incision that they made, right? So um, she's looking at my chest, and she moves the robe that I have on to get a better look. And when she moves the robe over to see the incision, she leaves the room rather quickly. I might add too. She just leaves, picks up and leaves. So I'm wondering, what in the world is going on? Well, she comes back and she has the surgeon with her, and so um, having him with her, he asked if I was feeling okay. And I told him, yeah, I feel wonderful. And so he says, Mr. Luton, let me take a look at your chest. And he does. And he takes a Q-tip. Now, this, the Q-tips that don't have cotton on both ends. One end of the Q-tip has nothing on it. So he takes that Q-tip and he sticks it in my chest. And the Q-tip goes in pretty far. And then he takes another one and he goes down. And it goes pretty far. And at that particular point, he tells me, he said, Mr. Luton, you've opened back up. You've opened back up. They say, so what I'm going to do is we're going to have to get you back into the OR for surgery. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to uh, try to get you to a point where you'll be okay until we can do the surgery. So they laid me back, put me on the bed and laid me back. Of course, put the blue stuff over me. And they give localized anesthesia. So they deaden all of the area around where the incision is. Okay? So I'm not feeling the thing. And the only thing I remember is Doc taking something, putting it in his hand, and pushing it down into my chest. Now, whatever this was, I don't know because I didn't see it, but I could feel him twisting this thing, and I could feel my chest tightening up. So evidently, excuse me, whatever it was meant to, you know, kind of tighten things up where they had made the incision, because now they cut through the sternum, cut through it. So now they're having to put it back together. But anyway, at any rate, they get me patched up, and along with that, they do something that's very, very painful. And if you've never been through it, I don't think you'll understand. But right after that surgery, they attached a wound vac to that particular incision that they had made. And this thing, man, listen to me. Um, I've always believed in, especially during my adult life, fitness, working out, pushing through pain. I've always believed in that. But let me tell you, this was the kind of pain that's crippling. This is the kind of pain that will bring a tear to your eye. It was that kind of pain. So the nurse that was going to administer the wound vac came in, and he told me, he was like, listen, man, he said, I'm going to tell you. He was like, this is going to hurt. He said, but I'm going to count to 5, and we're going to engage, okay? He said, whatever you got, he said, I want you to hold on to it. I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. It can't be. Listen to me. Listen to me. Some of the worst kind of pain I've ever felt in my entire life. So what happens is, as this thing engages, how he explained it to me, they're going to use negative pressure in order to remove all of the gunk and, all of the excess fluids so that the wound can heal and heal quickly. So I'm okay with that. I said, okay, I understand the idea. So here we go. He set it up. He's put the pump on. And as soon as he hits the button, I hear the pump starting to engage, right? There's a delay. And when it starts to work, the suction from this thing, my eyes begin to water. And I say to the guy who's there, I say, I think I'm about to die. He says, no, you're all right. You're all right. He said the first time it happens, is very painful. He said, and then you fresh out of surgery, he said, yeah, it's gonna be very painful. But he said, but as time goes on, you will be okay. So the wound vac is engaged, and they come back twice a week to change out the dressing, clean out the pump. Listen to me, this whole situation. I'm joking about it now, and I'm in good spirit, but the whole situation was a painful one. Please believe me when I tell you. I have to emphasize again, brothers, please. If you see signs of something being wrong, if you see signs of something that could lead to something much worse, please do not ignore the sign. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll regret it. Just like I did. I regretted all of this because I should have taken more of a proactive stance when it came to my health. Okay. So the wound vac is on. I'm recuperating pretty nicely. Uh, they give me a red and black Vanderbilt pillow. And what they want me to do is anytime I have to cough or sneeze or anything, hold that pillow as close to my chest as I possibly can, and then cough or sneeze or whatever I have to do. And I was like, okay, here I am. Here I am again, not listening, being hard-headed. And I'm saying to myself, man, I'm not going to need this pillow. When have I ever coughed and needed to hold my chest? I'm not going to need this. Ah, that first cough made a lie out of me. I coughed and I could feel it I could feel it in my toes. And I could feel it because I had grown the beard by then. I could feel it in my beard. I'm being honest. It was the kind of pain, once again, like I said, this was a painful situation. It's the kind of pain that uh, is unreal almost. But uh, from that instance on, I took the pillow, I took the advice, and from that particular point on too, I began to be more obedient to the direction I was given. I started to do what I was asked to do without question because I realized they were just trying to help me. You figure to yourself, well, I know I know my own body. I know it better than these folks. No, listen, follow instructions, because the people who are in charge of helping you, these are professionals. And being professionals, they want you to have the best health that you can possibly have. So, um, once again, uh, please look at your health. So now, one of the things too, I'll share with you. Uh, I had to, in order to come home, I had to be able to get up and walk. And so they gave me a walker, and that's what they required. They required me to be able to get up and walk. So I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't. It was okay with me. And my wife was, that was one of the proudest days, because everything that I had been through, she was under the impression that, maybe I wasn't going to be able to get up and move around. But that's what they asked of me. And because of the fact that I was in the habit of working out, I was in the habit of strength training, resistance training, cardio, things of that sort. I was in the habit of doing that. When it came time for some exertion, and it was some exertion. When it came time for exertion, it was almost as if my body just responded. It was like, okay, well, this is what we normally do. We back on it. Let's do it. So they gave me the walker, and the lady counted. She says, "Okay, we're gonna go at 3. So 1, 2, 3." And when she said 3, I was up on my feet. And that was a surprise to her. She was like, "Mr. Luke, you're doing so good. You're doing so good." I said, "Thank you." But I think that what I realized was that it wasn't just going to be the care that they gave me. I was going to have to invest in my health as well at this particular point. Invest in getting well, doing the things that they asked. So from that day forward, my wife and I, we got up, we walked around, and we got to a point where I could use the bathroom by myself. I could, most things I could do for myself. And then finally they released us, and we made that drive home from Vanderbilt. And let me tell you something, riding in a car with that kind of incision and you trying to get home, oh man, it was a brutal situation. It really was. It was brutal, because any bump you hit, anything that, could possibly cause the car to shake, oh, you in trouble. So up until this point, man, I hope that you all have enjoyed the story. I just wanted to make sure that I gave an account for myself, but there are a few other things that happened that I want to share with you, but I'll share them with you in the next episode. All right. Love y'all, man. Y'all be easy. Peace.